new Hunger Games movie is set to release soon, and let's be honest, absolutely nobody cares about it. I mean, aside from the fact that the Hunger Games is a dead franchise and has been a dead franchise for a while now, the film also stars Rachel Zegler, not exactly the hottest commodity in Hollywood when it comes to fan reception. It also stars Hunter Schafer, an up-and-coming trans actor. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and we're about to get into an article where Hunter Schafer, the trans actress, talks about their thoughts on representation in the Hunger Games films. And let's be honest, it's kind of a base thought process. Like you wouldn't think that I would normally be doing a video giving credence to this sort of ideology. However, I think it's worth noting what was said here, and of course how the media and the article does try to spin it, which is not exactly the same as what the actress actually says. So before we get to the article, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get the 2,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year, and with just over 200 left to go, I think we can actually do it. But enough of that, let's get into talking about a trans actor on representation in the new doomed to fail Hunger Games film. Hunger Games star Hunter Schafer opens up about bringing trans representation to the prequel, and this is, of course, Hunter Schafer. I'm gonna be real. You can tell it's a dude. Look at that jawline, look at those cheekbones, like you could tell this is a dude. And this is one of the more passing dudes, I'm gonna be real, but you can still tell at the end of the day, this is not a biological female. Trans actor Hunter Schafer speaks out about Hollywood's direction for trans representation in reaction to landing the role of Tigress Snow in Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. You know, the title that's a complete ripoff of every single Game of Thrones novel. Based on Suzanne Collins' best-selling tale, the film adaptation of the Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is set 64 years before Katniss Everdeen volunteers as tribute. Instead, the story focuses on the original trilogy's villain, Coriolanus, however you would pronounce that, Snow, played by Tom Blythe as an 18-year-old mentor to a tenacious District 12 tribute and traveling performer Lucy Gray Baird, played by everyone's favorite Hollywood celebrity right now, Rachel Zegler. Yeah, her being in this film alone is enough to make a box office poison. Again, even if it wasn't based on a franchise that nobody's talking about and that's been dead for a while, you still have more people talking about Twilight and Harry Potter than the Hunger Games. It had its time, it came and went. These sorts of teen rebellion, post-apocalyptic world movies like The Maze Runner and Hunger Games, they're dead. They're long gone. Everyone's focused on the death of the superhero film before the upcoming video game film era takes over with the likes of the Mario movie and Sonic, the upcoming Zelda movie, all that stuff on Amazon, DMC, or I guess that's Netflix, but Tomb Raider. It's going to be a lot. There's no room for this sort of thing here. As he falls in love under the influence of classmate Sejanus and cousin Tigress, that's the tranny's character, Coriolanus must reckon with the cruelty of the capital, but as the stakes grow ever higher, will game maker Dr. Volmnia Gowell, which is Viola Davis, a great actress, horrible politics, but great actress, sinks her claws deep enough to pull him into the forces of tyranny and evil. The popular young adult franchise, both books and films, garnered widespread acclaim, and the hopes are high for the latest installment. Now, in an exclusive interview with the Pink News, so feminist news article, feminist news outlet, often focusing on the trans and LGBT stuff, they're not gonna have any sort of bias at all, except for, I will say, once again, the actress themselves, they actually give a decently based answer, an answer that is rather hidden when you look at the title, because the title wouldn't make you think that this actress is about to say something that you guys will find interesting. The title makes you think they're gonna go on some tirade about, we need more representation, it's about time, when that's not really what happens. Euphoria star Hunter Schafer reflects on making her big screen debut and the power of including a rising trans star in the cast of the highly anticipated prequel. I don't know if it is a highly anticipated prequel. I don't know anyone talking about this. Captain Marvel, more people are talking about that, despite the fact that this also releases, in a few weeks, a few days, something to that effect. There's more buzz around Godzilla -1 than there is this awful prequel. It's really cool, Schafer says. In general, it's my first movie that's come out, and it's starting off with a bang. The way that Hollywood is moving with my community gives me faith that we're headed in a good direction. Over the past year, trans actors have been appearing more frequently on the silver screen, with many landing roles that do not center around their trans identity. Good! Absolutely! Because that's all your boy is asking for. Look, I love the One Piece live-action adaptation, and it turns out the actor that played Kobe was trans. You know what? They didn't make the character trans, and they didn't bring up in the media and all the news sources that the actor was trans until after the fact. That's fine by me. It's when you're trying to shove that sort of thing down people's throats, shove it in their face, make sure that, you've got to know what we're doing for representation. You got to know this actor's trans. Like what this article is doing right now. Let's say that I did hate myself and wanted to go see this movie, and I saw the movie. Now, I'd probably end up being able to tell, this actor's a tranny. However, if they hadn't made articles like this, shouting it to the rooftops as if it's some just incredible thing that we're putting chicks with dicks in movies, that wouldn't bother me in the slightest. Just like, there's no reason that an actor that happens to be trans can't act in a movie. Like that's psychotic. People that go that far with it are off their nuts. Oh no, this person has a mental illness, so they can't get hired. That annoys me a little bit. You wanna know why? Your boy Leon here, I got a couple mental illnesses. I'm diagnosed OCD and ADHD. If a casting director or someone in Hollywood was to be like, yeah, Leon, we're not gonna hire you on account of your mental illness, you got OCD and ADHD, I'd be like, well, that's kind of shitty. I can't expect individuals to say, what? You're a tranny? We're not hiring you purely based on that alone. Now, if they get the job purely based on that alone, that's also a problem. But if they're getting the job on their merit at their craft, the craft of acting, then I got no issues. Just don't change the character. Don't make the character trans if the character isn't originally trans. Don't make a big deal out of the sexuality, and everything will come across as fine. From Hari Nef and summer blockbuster Barbie to Zoe Terakis in A24's horror Talk to Me, and now Schaefer's turn as Tigress, films are slowly forging ahead with meaningful transgender representation. Now, mind you, this is not the actress saying this. This is what Pink News has to say. Here's the actual quote from Hunter Schafer. I don't want to sensationalize it too much because at the end of the day, I'm an actress. Bingo! You hit the nail on the head. Don't say sensationalize, like you said, the fact that you're a chick with a dick. Like nobody cares about that. Can you shut up, take direction, do your job well? If so, bravo to you. Then I hope you have a genuinely successful career that you can look back on when you're 90 years old and have probably not having had a kid if your sexuality swings the way I think it does. Point is, I hope that you can look back on your career with pride, knowing that you put your art first and not just use your art as some sort of soapbox to step on for you to get your ideology out there. If that's all you're doing, then good. I'm glad you don't want to sensationalize it. Schaefer adds, this is what I do. So the trans element is really cool, but I'm just living for the fact that I get to do my art, work on my craft, and that I'm getting these crazy opportunities. It's really special. Bravo, Hunter Schaefer. I can't say I'm a fan of you. I'm gonna be real. I couldn't care less about this movie, and I hate the show Euphoria, but I'm glad that you were out here speaking about this trans stuff with common sense. That being said, look at this title here. Hunger Games star Hunter Schaefer opens up about bringing trans representation to the prequel. That's not what they did. They straight up said, I don't care. I'm an actor. I'm an actress. I'm doing this for the art. But that's not how this article is framing it. That is absolutely bananas. Like they obviously can't put this quote in there because it's going to give individuals like me, other sort of anti-woke YouTubers, something to say. Like, oh, look at them. They're standing up for actual rights. Like, yeah, I agree with that. This is how I think anyone in Hollywood should operate. Gay, straight, black, brown, whatever. Are you getting the job on the merit of your talent? Are you a hardworking artist and you want to make sure that your craft is seen to as many individuals as possible? Then go for it. I think that's excellent. But don't sensationalize ideological bogus that 90% of the country doesn't actually give a damn about, and 50% of them are too scared to say that they actively disagree with. Schaefer also touches on the excitement she felt when she found out that she'd be playing the role of an aspiring stylist. Okay. An aspiring stylist, that part is a little bit on the nose. I mean, I don't know if this character is trans or gay in the book or anything like that. I'm gonna be real because I hate the Hunger Games novels. If you want to even call them novels, they're more like just collections of words that tell some semblance of a story. But the point is, I don't see there being a lot of room for trannies in a post-apocalyptic world where poverty is, all is running rampant. But, I mean, what do I know? The utopian democratic future that will eventually fall could be littered with trannies, and turns out it could be Fallout 4, but with a whole lot more rainbow flags IRL. I don't know where the future is going, but I just do think it's funny that you cast a very obviously gay man to play a stylist for a character that may or may not actually be gay or trans. I'm not sure. After the audition came through last minute, so I don't really care about the star hopping on Zoom. They just go on to talk about how, it's cool that they're getting the role. They don't really say anything else about the tranny stuff. It does bother me that this actress says it was my favorite book series in middle school. I remember seeing other kids reading it and gave it a shot. The books are gritty. It gets dark. I felt like I was reading an adult. Middle school? God, I feel like I'm getting old when actors are saying shit like this. I guarantee you this individual's probably younger than me and probably far more successful, so who am I to judge? I will say, look, if this actor is going to come out, play this character, in a movie that no one's gonna see, but they're gonna keep quiet and they're not gonna talk about how amazing it is and how much they're breaking barriers. The glass ceiling must be shattered. Look, that's fine. Just shut the hell up about stuff like that, and you and I, we simpatico. If you go on and talking about how amazing it is, then now you're persona non grata. That being said, they're also calling for this dude, this chick, whatever, to play Zelda. I ain't a fan of that. Legend of Zelda fans agree that Hunter Schafer would slay in live-action movie. Ain't no Legend of Zelda fans saying that. Once again, look at this, you can tell it's a dude. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but let's be real. Like, there's some folks here. Look at those back muscles. Look at that jawline. I'm sorry, you know this is a male. I don't, it's weird to say, hey, if you put your acting craft first, I don't care who you're playing in, something like the Hunger Games, but I'm sorry, you look too masculine to be playing the iconic character in The Legend of Zelda. Zelda has a very specific look to her. This character that you're playing, to my knowledge, has never been shown in films. Might actually be gay or trans in the books, I don't know. But if that character's never been shown, we don't have a good idea of what they look like. Sure, play the unknown character from Hunger Games, but to play a character like Zelda, I'm sorry, that's not okay. And I don't want, just like I said, I don't want Tom Holland playing Link. I don't want what was her name? Hunter Schafer playing Zelda either. And I don't know any Zelda fan that does. Once again, this is just coming from individuals that really want to see representation, on screen, because that's all that matters. That's what you're going to get with the pink news. But, all these tweets, they're probably from just individuals that, have pronouns in their bio or Ukraine flags or whatnot. It's really, and also you're not a fan. It's very clear you're not a fan with this quote here. Speaking to Entertainment Tonight about her Vanity Fair party look and how excited it got Zelda fans, the actress said, I mean, yeah, that would be cool. Like an elf? So first of all, Zelda's not an elf. Zelda's never been an elf, and that's fine, you don't have to know that, but then they outright lie about it afterwards. I mean, I played the video game a bunch when I was a kid, it's such a good game. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but your heart clearly isn't into the source material when you're saying stuff like that. You also said in the previous one right here that you didn't read the book that the Hunger Games is based on, like the one that she's going to be in. It says right here, she read the original Hunger Games books, but not, I was going in not knowing a lot, thankfully. Oh, sorry, I didn't even have the chance to read the book beforehand, so she didn't have the chance to read the prequel novel. So, yeah, when you're not a fan of the thing proper, you're not willing to go in and do the research, I'm sorry. I don't know anyone that wants to see you as Zelda, but that being said, this isn't going to turn into me ranting about the Legend of Zelda movie thing. I just think that it is important to note that this actress, this trans actress, actor, whatever you want to call it, man, girl, chick with dick, I don't care. Thing is, they came out and they said the correct thing. Stop focusing on what's swinging between my legs or possibly not swinging between my legs depending on if they got the surgery or not, and focus on the craft, the talent, the hard work that I put in to be recognized in the world of showbiz. And that is the message that I think more people need to hear regardless of where you sit on the political aisle. Yeah, I know, probably not the sort of video you thought you'd see coming from your boy Leon here. I'm staunchly anti-woke, so they tell me, but really, I just want politics to stay out of nerd culture in general, and I may loathe the Hunger Games, but I guess technically it does have its place in nerd culture, so left-wing, right-wing, doesn't matter, stay out of it. When you got an actress that says something, if this was a hardcore right-wing actor, and the Bounding into Comics was saying something like, oh, look at this pro-2A, pro-Trump actress and how she got cast in Hollywood, I'd be like, I mean, okay, shut the hell up. Are they good at acting? I don't care what the actor's stance is on 2A. I don't care what the actor's stance is on who they voted for in the Republican Party. Although if they came out and said they were a Vivek Ramaswamy fan, that would be pretty sweet. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, focus on what makes a movie, a comic, a video game, whatever, good, which is the acting, the writing, the storytelling, the character development, the directing, and the list goes on. I don't care about your personal politics or your ideologies as long as you're not shoving them in my face, and more importantly, shoving them into the nerd culture where they don't belong because you want these representation brownie points. So kudos to this actress for not doing that, and in fact, actively saying they don't want that. And you know what? Go out, I was gonna say go out and support the movie. Still don't do that. I mean, Rachel Zegler's in it, so make sure this movie fails, but give credit where credit's due to this Hunter character. I hope they haven't said anything stupid in the past that's gonna make me regret making this video. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not just notice, I think I've got some trans colors going on with my color scheme in the background here. What a perfect video to use these. I've just been using this color scheme the last few days, but I might have to change it after this one. People gotta start getting the wrong idea idea. Either way, subscribe. I cover nerdy news every day, not always about, movies like The Hunger Games, but anime, music, Magic the Gathering, video games, you name it, it's all here in the nerdosphere. Follow me on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, because this has been Words of Paradise.